These flights are most likely going to continue, both in number and probably in veracity, since the United States terminated the INF Treaty, which is yet another example of the reckless neocon policies that the Trump administration are pursuing. Russia's flights around Norway are a defensive measure given the posture and positioning of the United States and NATO forces. You have increased military, NATO military operations in that region. You have increased NATO military and United States presence in Poland near the Kaliningrad border. And then you have the United States given lethal weapons, military weapons and hardware to Ukraine. And so you have the United States and NATO essentially encircling the Russian Federation and then terminating a strategic treaty like the INF. And so Russia is going to have to respond in a defensive posture. That's what these flights are. Not to mention, most recently, President Trump demanding that Russia withdraw a mere 100 maintenance troops from Venezuela, which is kind of hypocritical because Venezuela is essentially the United States engaged in almost the exact same black ops coup playbook that it engaged in Iran in 1953. So it's very hypocritical for the United States to cry foul against Russia for engaging in defensive actions after the United States terminated a key treaty, and while at the same time encircling Russia with military bases and putting troops on its border and then providing lethal military hardware into the Ukraine, which has neo-Nazis as its foot soldiers propping up that government, not to mention the U.S. Navy's presence in the Black Sea. So I suspect things are probably going to get more tense. A new Cold War is emerging. However, during the some 65 years of the first Cold War, I don't think it was this reckless. The Soviet Union and the United States went to great lengths to try to avoid these types of situations, with the exception of the Cuban Missile Crisis, but that was handled very well. But we see an entirely different posture by the neocons that have taken over Donald Trump's foreign policy. So unless the American people just absolutely put their foot down and end this Russia-phobia, which is every bit as strong and pervasive in the American foreign policy as Islamophobia, we're probably in for a very bleak future, especially if Donald Trump is reelected.